Well, what about word of mouth? A little bit of behavior has come into the equation, hasn't it? Suddenly it's a little more believable. And then you've achieved some success there as a result of that behavior influencing someone else's opinion. Now, you all remember the 4 P's of marketing? Somebody shout it out. Oh, surely. Promotion. Good enough. She gets a drink ticket for sure. Product, place, price, and promotion. The old 4 P's of marketing. As a community, how many of those do you have control over? Like a manufacturer or a service provider. Can you control the quality of goods and services in your town? The price of goods? Distribution, whether you've got a beach or an airport or an interstate close by? You can't control these things. You have some sway over some of them. Some sway over promotion, but you don't have all of these tools that traditional marketers have. And after years of experience, we've come up with our own proprietary 4 P's of community branding. But politics are always part of the equation, and Sean again will be able to share some of that with you in a minute. That's the bad news. The good news is, though, that there's another P, and that's passion. People can't help but have an emotional relationship with where they choose to live, or grow their business, or spend their time on vacation and whatnot. So that's good ground to work with. More good news. Traditional media, print, newspaper, radio, television, outdoor, now only accounts for 9% of total media spending. This is a huge shift. Now, of course, the internet is a big part of where those dollars are going. But the internet isn't just another medium, is it? It's changed the game entirely. So the internet and all its associated devices and social media and whatnot is all about connectivity. Okay? And being a part of activity. So these places, local promotions, relationship, pop-up marketing, cause-related efforts, green initiatives, this is where the dollars are going, connecting to activity, connecting to things that are taking place. And marketers are paying to be in places, many of which, places and spaces that you control. Okay, let's talk about that a little further. These are just buckets of connectivity that you can connect back to your strategy. So your brand behavior initiatives can touch on policy, private sector, the arts, events, sports, exports, your civic awards, purpose initiatives, health, sustainability. All of these are just places to apply thinking. How can our brand and our brand strategy affect things we do in this space? And this is what takes a brand from being a two-dimensional effort and really taking root in a community. I'm going to share just a few examples with you quickly from some places. And I'm going to skip all of the research and the background that we typically give and just get right down to it. In Providence, Rhode Island, their strategy was about original thinking. Okay? That was the platform that all the different organizations agreed to. Providence, the creative capital, is the work that fell out of this. So, of course, a place that's about original thinking would celebrate their entrepreneurs. Of course, a place about original thinking would have wonderful incubators and incentives for startups. Okay? Of course, a place that was about original thinking would get their preeminent design school, Rhode Island School of Art and Design, to participate. Now the students, as part of their curriculum, provide creative around their brand and target different mediums. Okay? Just a few brand behavior action initiatives that Providence has taken. And as a result, got a nice front page article on the Wall Street Journal back in May talking about their brand. Santa Rosa, California, the strategy netted out there, the neck of that hourglass, was all about where California's wine country celebrates the harvest. Now, this isn't all about the agricultural harvest. They're the business center of that region. So they've done a good job of putting this to work with the idea of California cornucopia and this place of plenty. But you would expect a place that was all about a celebration of the harvest to have a food bank. And by co-partnering with the Redwood Empire Food Bank, they are on their way to having the world's largest food bank. Again, brand action, brand behavior initiative that fits in perfectly with their strategy. Didn't cost them anything, by the way. Fairbanks, Alaska, the strategy netted out to the idea where extreme conditions create unmatched light, energy, and warmth. Light with the aurora borealis, energy, of course, with the pipeline, and warmth. It actually gets quite hot there, and they're very friendly folk up in Fairbanks, Alaska. So that led to some nice creative. Once you've been here, you understand their desire, determination to return. But it also led to economic development providing monetary incentive through power bills to connect back to this idea of energy. Just a policy decision that touched back on that strategy. Warmth, they also invested in public art and fire pits throughout the city. Columbus, Indiana was about an uncommon atmosphere. Columbus, Indiana, 35,000 people, sixth most significant architectural community in the nation, behind Chicago, San Francisco, and other huge cities. So a very uncommon atmosphere. And that led to some of this creative, but also a downtown mall that has an unbelievable playground that a developer provided to connect back to the brand and the design. Bicycle racks that connected back to the design. There are churches that have come forward to design playgrounds in a unique and distinctive way to connect to the brand. So again, behavioral stuff that's taking place to get the brand off the page. Shawnee, Kansas, Sean's neighbor, was about nourishing new beginnings. Okay, that's their heritage, and that's what they're trying to do more of now. And so good living starts here, good business starts here, etc. But that being critical to their brand also helped funding take place for Shawnee Town, and a town that's struggling financially. But because it was central to their brand, that was a key asset they couldn't afford to have depreciate. So they invested in that asset. Okay, Gainesville, Florida, the idea of a learning-based culture. Okay, ever wonder what folks do in Gainesville when it isn't game day? Having some fun with Albert and Alberta. But you would expect a place that was a learning-based culture to have great schools, to have good incubators. They have a wonderful downtown festival and art show that before the brand, they didn't have a teaching component. Now, not only do they sell art, they also have ways for you to come and learn how to create the art yourself. Again, that's the artist group's way of incorporating back into the brand. So just a few brief examples to kind of get your mind started down this road. And this is a lot of the fun of it. Once you can get past the graphic identity part and how the chamber is going to use it versus the city and how all the departments are going to come on board and how the economic development will use it, and when you can get past that part of it, then you can go back and say, how can we make this richer and deeper and connect back to that strategy? It's not just trying to apply this logo in as many places as possible, but how can we connect back to that strategy to make it real with someone's experience with our community? And that strategy was born out of who you are. It's authentic to you. So there's already lots of support. You just have to do more to connect the dots for people. And it's a large part of the fun of this. All right?